Comparing ourselves to others is one of the heaviest burdens we carry, often without realizing it. Every day we scroll through social media, seeing snapshots of other people's lives, success, wealth, beauty, talent, and we start to measure ourselves against them. We wonder why she seems so successful, why he has so much, why life seems easier for someone else. And in the process, we forget to notice our own journey, our own talents, our own worth. There was once a small village, quiet and peaceful, on the edge of a sprawling, dense forest. The village seemed ordinary to outsiders, but for those who lived there, it was a place full of stories, small joys, and hidden lessons. In this village lived a boy named Ethan. Ethan was kind, diligent, and genuinely good-hearted. He worked hard every day, tried his best in school, and always helped those around him. But no matter what he did, a cloud followed him everywhere. The constant habit of comparing himself to others. Ethan watched his friend Liam ace every test effortlessly, and immediately he felt small. He saw Ryan, the wealthy neighbor, with his shiny new things, and wondered why he didn't have the same. Even in games and sports, if someone ran faster or jumped higher, a pang of envy filled him. They started to dominate his mind. Life, which should have been full of learning, joy, and curiosity, began to feel like a constant race he was losing. His thoughts became louder, persistent, and painful. "I'll never be good enough," he whispered to himself. "No matter how hard I try, I'll never measure up." He lost focus in school, stopped enjoying his hobbies, and avoided activities he used to love. The vibrant boy who once laughed easily and dreamed freely was slowly retreating into a shadow of self-doubt. One morning, the village welcomed an elderly man who everyone affectionately called Grandpa Joe. He was known for his wisdom, his calm presence, and his ability to make people see life in a different light. Children and adults alike would gather around him, curious for advice and stories. Ethan, desperate for guidance, approached Grandpa Joe one afternoon and poured his heart out. He spoke of his frustration, his sadness, and his constant comparisons. Grandpa Joe listened carefully, nodding, a gentle smile on his face, and then said something that stayed with Ethan forever. "Come meet me at the oldest tree in the village tomorrow morning. I'll show you something that will change the way you think." The next day, Ethan arrived at the tree before sunrise. Grandpa Joe was already there, leaning against its massive trunk, watching the sun peek over the horizon. The morning light painted the leaves golden, and the soft chirping of birds created a serene backdrop. Grandpa Joe looked at Ethan and asked, "Look around." Ethan's eyes swept across the forest. Towering trees, small saplings, some lush with fruit, others bare. Some strong and unyielding, others delicate and slender. "Grandpa," Ethan said slowly, "there are so many different trees. Each is unique in its own way." Grandpa Joe smiled, his eyes twinkling. "Now imagine if one apple tree looked at a coconut tree and said, 'Why am I so short?' Or the coconut tree wished it bore sweet fruits like the apples. How would that sound?" Ethan laughed, realizing how absurd it would be for the trees to compare themselves. "Silly," he admitted. "Exactly," Grandpa Joe said, his voice soft but firm. "Just like the trees, people have different strengths. Your friend Liam is great at studies. Ryan may have wealth, someone else might excel at sports. But those strengths are not yours to measure against. You have your own unique qualities, your own gifts waiting to be nurtured. Comparing yourself to others is like asking a fish to fly like a bird at Dosen Tea makes sense. It only brings frustration and sadness." He guided Ethan to a nearby pond where a colorful fish swam gracefully. A bird soared above them, wings spread wide against the morning sky. Grandpa Joe asked, "What if the fish looked at the bird and wished it could fly? Would it be fair to the fish?" Ethan shook his head. "I know, Grandpa. Fish are meant to swim. Birds are meant to fly."
"Hi, Grandpa."
Joe placed a gentle hand on Ethan's shoulder. "Then why do you wish to be like someone else? Your path is your own, and it is important. Recognize your own strengths, focus on what you can do, and embrace it fully." Those words struck Ethan deeply. He spent hours near the pond that morning, watching the fish glide through water and the birds navigate the sky. Slowly he realized the truth in Grandpa Joe's message. Everyone has their own path. The comparisons he had made for years were illusions that only distracted him from his own potential. From that day forward, Ethan began to change. He still noticed the success of others, but instead of feeling envy or despair, he felt inspiration. He focused on his studies, honed his skills, and explored his passions. With every small victory, his confidence grew. The boy who once doubted himself was now embracing his uniqueness. Years passed, and Ethan's dedication bore fruit. He started a business based on his talents and creativity, something that reflected his own journey rather than the achievements of others. People from the village admired him not just for his success, but for the calm, confident way he carried himself. Whenever someone asked him the secret to his growth, he would smile knowingly and say, "Never compare yourself to anyone else. If a fish tries to fly, it will never be happy. But if it swims with purpose, it can conquer the entire ocean." Ethan learned that life was not a race to outshine others, but a journey to embrace oneself. The sun and moon do not shine together, yet both are beautiful and necessary. Just as each tree in the forest has its role, each person has their purpose. The moment we stop comparing, we unlock the energy to walk our path fully and passionately. This story is for anyone who has ever felt small, insecure, or like they were not enough. Remember, your journey is yours alone. Your talents, your strengths, and your opportunities are unique. The world will never be the same. If you choose to stop measuring yourself by the standards of others and start celebrating your own abilities, life became brighter for Ethan, and it can be the same for anyone who decides to embrace their own path. There is freedom, joy, and fulfillment waiting when we let go of comparison and focus on self-growth. So look within, recognize your strengths, and move forward boldly. The world does not need another imitation, it needs your authenticity, your light, and your journey. If this story resonates with you, take a moment to reflect on your own strengths today. Share it with someone who might need this reminder. Life is too short to live in the shadow of others. Own your path, and in doing so, you might inspire countless others to do the same.